Cabinet received an update on the country's response to the COVID-19 outbreak, as presented by the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Honorable Professor A. Murgwira, as Acting Minister of Health and Childcare. As at 11 October 2021, Zimbabwe's cumulative COVID-19 cases stands at 131,875, with 125,476 recoveries and 4,643 deaths. The active cases decreased from 1,504 to 665 cases. The number of new infections decreased also during the week under review. The daily average of new cases dropped to 10 per day from 19. This is attributable to the comprehensive response by the government. There's been a general decline of COVID-19 cases reported in schools. The Ministry of Health and Childcare remains on high alert to contain any surges in COVID-19 cases in schools. Cabinet advises the nation that as of 11 October 2021, a total of 3,176,744 people had received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and 2,417,442 they had received their second dose. This is across the country. This translates to a national coverage of 37.3% for the first dose and 28.3% for the second dose. The Ministry of Health and Childcare has dispatched a team to Chitungwiza City to raise awareness and ramp up vaccination efforts to make sure that there is quick uptake of vaccination by residents in Chitungwiza. Cabinet wishes to further inform citizens that the country is expecting a delivery of 5 million syringes in November 2021, and this will complement the 13,243,200 COVID-19 vaccines which have been so far been procured. Then we move on to ways to stem brain drain from the health sector. Cabinet considered and approved the report of the Interministerial Committee on stemming the brain drain in the health sector. As this report was presented by the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Honorable Professor A. Murgwira, as Acting Minister of Health and Childcare. This was done in collaboration with the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable Professor Paul Mavima, as Chairperson of the Interministerial Committee. Cabinet wishes to inform the public that the Interministerial Committee identified the causes of the brain drain in the health sector. And to stem this brain drain, a committee was therefore set up to look holistically into the following issues. 1, mechanisms to accelerate provision of non-monetary incentives such as staff accommodation, transport, vehicle loans, canteens or cafeteria, Wi-Fi facilities, that's connectivity, and many other incentives. Then 2, also looking at measures to improve the remuneration of tutors in the nursing training colleges. Then 3, to look at the judicious adjustment of monetary benefits in the health sector. And 4, addressing the disparity between the urban and rural health personnel incentives in order to attract personnel to rural areas. Cabinet wishes to inform the nation that government continues to pursue bilateral agreements with destination countries for our health professionals within the World Health Organization framework. Then Cabinet received a report on the strategies and measures to eliminate traffic congestion. Cabinet received and adopted a report on the ad hoc interministerial committee on the elimination of decongestion and installation of proper lighting in our country's urban areas, And this report was presented by the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable July Moyo. The interventions and projects are broadly categorized under the following areas. 1, infrastructure. 2, enhanced public transport logistics systems. And 3, enforcement. Under 1, the public is advised that the infrastructure component includes the repair of street lights along major trunk roads, repair and upgrading of traffic lights signals at major junctions, installation of new traffic signals, addition of filter lanes at roundabouts and selected junctions, introduction of dedicated bus lanes and carriageway markings, construction of proper curbing and jersey barriers, and completion of one-way roads, including widening and repair of roads and improvement of terminal facilities. Highlights of the good works done to date include the following. A, the resurfacing of Seke Road, which is over 80% complete. Then B, the Simon Mazorodze Paisley Road Junction asphalt overlay, which will form part of the Mbudzi traffic interchange, which is over 75% complete. And for the Mbudzi interchange designs have been completed, as well as the selection of the two roads, namely Chimanda, Stone Ridge, Amalinda, and Forbes Road. The nation is also informed that notable achievements under the enhanced urban transport logistics or systems category include the following. An additional 50 buses, new buses, were received and commissioned for ZUPCO. Then the software for the electronic ticketing system was developed and certification was granted. Then the passenger train services which were rolled out in Harare under the ZUPCO franchise, the Mufakose commuter train is now fully subscribed, carrying up to 1,300 passengers per trip. Rua and Tinwald are slowly gaining momentum. The services are set to be extended to Bulawayo soon. And then on enforcement of traffic bylaws, there will be joint operations by Municipal Traffic Police and Zimbabwe Republic Police, as well as the setting up of impounding yards. The operation to remove illegal taxis and criminalizing trading at intersections is ongoing, while deterrent fines are being charged for touting. Joint deployments of City of Harare and the Zimbabwe Republic Police traffic officers at intersections are ongoing, with a significant number of municipal officers having been trained so far. Then we moved on to the report. This is a progress report on the ongoing Bikita and Cholocho mobile registration exercise. The Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Kazembe, reported on progress made in the mobile registration exercise which was undertaken in Bikita and Cholocho. The exercise sought to document citizens in Bikita district who were affected by Cyclone Idai in 2019, and also those affected by the 2017 floods in Cholocho, including the Chao, that's the San community in that district. The Bikita mobile registration program commenced on 6 September 2021 and will end on 5 October ended on 5 October 2021, while the Cholocho exercises ran from 13 September to the 12th of this month. The services availed during the mobile registration exercises in the two districts covered birth, death, and national identity registration. Cabinet notes with pleasure that the exercise commenced smoothly and has been successfully undertaken, providing critical registration documents to distressed citizens affected by natural calamities. A total of 4,397 national identity documents were issued in Bikita, comprising the following: 3,112 initial birth registration for children under the age of 16 years. Then 348 initial birth registration for persons above 16 years of age. Then 26 duplicate birth certificates issued to children under 16 years of age. 522 duplicate birth certificates were issued to persons above the age of 16 years, and 58 death certificates were issued. Then in Cholocho, a total of 4,169 national identity documents were issued, broken down as follows. 3,542 were initial birth registration for children under the age of 16 years. Then 600 initial birth registration for persons above 16 years of age. 46 duplicate birth certificates were issued to children under 16 years of age, and about 625 duplicate birth certificates issued to persons above the age of 16 years, and there were 58 death certificates which were issued. Government commends Civil Registration Department for the stakeholder participation approach which it adopted in implementing the exercise, and this has resulted in effective coordination of the project. Together with the awareness campaigns being undertaken through rural district committees, traditional and community leaders, and local radio stations, huge turnouts were witnessed at mobile registration centers from the first day. And going forward, the mobile registration exercise will be extended to other districts in need, starting with Bulilima district in Matabeleland South Province. Then voter registration will also be concurrently undertaken as part of the exercise. Then Cabinet received reports on the 8th 100-day cycle of the Second Republic. Cabinet received reports on the 8th 100-day cycle of the Second Republic from the Ministers of Information, Communication, Technology, Postal and Courier Services, that's the Ministry of ICT, and then the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Ministry of National Housing and Social Amenities, and Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education. The Minister of ICT, Dr. Jennifer Musquere, reported that as at day 50 of the cycle, the following progress had been recorded for projects under his purview. A total of 79 schools had received ICT equipment, while the renovation of the targeted 100 ICT laboratories and internet connectivity was ongoing under the ICT per school project. Then 30 community information centers and or computerized village information centers were established. A total of 9 public finance management systems were completed and are ready for commissioning. The government communication suite was established and launched, and more than 2,000 users are connected to this site. 10 heavy-duty scanners and the same number of laptops were acquired and are due to be deployed under the pilot digitalization exercise of 5 ministries. Dr. Msquero also reported that 866 schools were connected to the internet free of charge across the country. And the Net1 Mobile Broadband MBB project is ongoing, with the installation of the targeted network controllers and routers in Harare and Bulawayo having been completed, while 90% of the targeted 17 rooftop base stations in Harare were completed. Then the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Dr. Evelyn Glovu, highlighted the following for projects in her ministry. Under the school registration project, 32 out of the targeted 40 schools were registered. Then regarding the upgrading of schools infrastructure project, 42 of the targeted 80 classroom blocks were completed. On the development of learner modules workbooks project, 10 out of the planned 12 modules were developed. Then the Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, Honorable Daniel Garwe, reported that the building of blocks of flats at the Zwaratsekwa site was underway, while the development of roads, stormwater drains, sewer and water reticulation, and provision of electricity at the Mpumalanga high-density stone site was 50% complete. The Kasese Kariba housing site development project was 54% complete, while the Lupani housing project is 90% complete, with only plumbing and painting, glazing, fixing of doors, and water and electricity connections outstanding. The Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, myself, outlined the progress made in my ministry, and the highlights of which are the following. The Chimanimani Digital Terrestrial Television DTTV project, which targeted upgrades and pilot home installations, among other works, that has been completed and just is waiting commissioning. Similarly, the Gokwe Digital Terrestrial Television project is ready for launching. Meanwhile, under the Nyangani Community Radio Station Installation Project, the relevant works are at an advanced stage of completion, and the station is expected to go on air before the end of this 8th 100-day cycle. Also want to inform you that the ministry has issued out 8 community radio stations, bringing the total number of community radio stations licensed across the country so far to 14. In related language-based community broadcasting matters, equipment has been donated by UNICEF for the operationalization of the Chimanimani community radio station, and this was done, and we went to Chimanimani to hand over this equipment to the Chimanimani community radio on the 27th of September 2021. And as I speak, civil works for the station are underway. Then for the universities, for the National University of Science and Technology, NUST, campus radio station installation project, the antenna system and transmitters were put in place, and studio renovations and civil works for the installation proper of the campus radio stations, that is ongoing. Under the targeted modernization of the Radio Zimbabwe studio project, an air conditioning system and console desk for the station studios E were installed. This is in Bari, while auxiliary equipment was also purchased using ZBC's own funds. Under the National Awareness Audiovisual Productions Project, 2 of the targeted 5 programs were produced during the 7th 100-day cycle under the Zimbabwe in Motion television program. And to date, 8 episodes of the program that were produced during the 7th 100-day cycle have been aired on ZTV. Then Cabinet received a report on the commemoration of the International Day for Disaster Reduction. Cabinet wishes to inform the nation that this year's commemorations of the International Day for Disaster Reduction, which is held on the 13th of October each year, will be held in Chinhoyi tomorrow under the theme, Multiple Hazards are Best Managed in a Devolved Environment. The objectives are as follows. 1, to promote a culture of disaster preparedness in the face of multiple hazards. Then 2, to sensitize devolved structures on disaster risk management in line with the devolution agenda. And 3, to disseminate information to the public on building resilience to vulnerabilities and disaster risks. Government has extended the necessary budget, which is complemented by the World Health Organization, the World Bank, the Zimbabwe Red Cross Society, and World Vision. The Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable J.G. Moyo, will deliver a statement today